So good afternoon and welcome back. Last week I missed the video because I was in London having some family time, but we're back and I'm building a new bike. Let's get into it.
My name's Ben Chapman and I've rode bikes for as long as I can remember. I love nothing more than jumping on a train and going to explore. I just love the freedom of having a bike.
India, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, France, Ibiza, all of them have been absolutely amazing. But next year I want to do something a little bit different. I want to build a bike that does it all. Something that's versatile. Something probably a little bit unconventional. So today I'm at Team Cycles and we're getting a mountain bike, we're going to pull it apart and we're going to try and do something that I've wanted to do for a long time. So yes, you would have guessed it, I have purchased a Procaliber 9.5 and we're putting drop bars on it. I've had a Procaliber before and I wanted to do this to the last one, but somebody gave me a really good offer to purchase it at the end of this year and I sold it. So I've got a new one in a better colour and it's got this big ISO bow gap in it, which I'm sure he can explain in a second, but we've had to make an awful lot of changes to try and get these bars on. Good idea or bad idea?
Hard to say at the moment, but it'll work.
What are we putting on it?
Drop bar hoods, GRX 600 series and GRX 800 series rear derailleur. So that'll go straight on instead of the mountain bike derailleur because we need this adjuster here to set the cable tension.
But this Dior looks pretty decent.
It does, yeah, it's really nice stuff. It all works, you know, you get the same functions whether you get Dior, SLX, XT, XTR, you just save a bit of weight.
Yeah. I was also thinking about putting my Creative Carbon 650Bs on here, but I've been told not to. It might just change the geometry a little bit too much. This is not going to be your traditional mountain bike because we're putting drop bars on it. It's going to be a bit of an adventure bike for me to have some fun on for the rest of the winter and going into next summer. We're going to load it up with bags, but the stem is a little bit too short, as you can see, so we're going to try and put a longer stem on it, just so I've got a little bit more reach, because the bars I'm putting on are already bringing me quite close. The stem's too short. Just be like this.
Why like that?
Yeah. 100mm stem?
Upstairs.
Downstairs. Loads of reach. What are they?
Country comp.
Off my boon.
Off the boon.
But you're saying I should get a bit of
I'm thinking that's got a bit more flair, right? Seeing you're going from quite a wide flat bar to a drop bar, having that wide flair on them, it's going to help you if you're climbing, descending, very aggressive.
Okay. To the wall of bars. So hopefully the end result of this bike will be an adventure bike. Next year I want to take on some really heavy gravel and some big routes. I'm looking at Morocco, I'm looking at Spain. I really want something that's going to take a bashing. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with tyres yet. I'm not too sure whether I'm going to keep these or not. And the original plan was to put some deep section carbon rims on, but I'm not going to do that. A lot of the guys here have said it's probably not the best thing to do. So you're using the same cables?
For the back brake, yeah, I think we've got enough length here to get it underneath the bar tape. The front one, I think we have to replace the hose.
This bike retails at around about £1,900 and we've spent around about £750 on group set, handlebars and a few extra little bits, bar tape, etc. If you follow me on Instagram, exactly the same, Benjamin Le Chappers, you'll know that I've just partnered up with Extra UK. They've sent me a saddle for this bike, a 3D printed one.
Dream big, 'cause boy, you're gonna make it. Stand tall, there's a higher road to take it. Let go of everything that you know and be wild in the mystery.
So on this wheel, we're currently running the stock brake, but we're going to change them out for these ones because I just think they look a little bit better. And I've put them on all my bikes. So these are going on.
I've been in the darkness for 40 days. I've been searching for holy flames, a sign to light up the way. So can you help me out?
So I was just about to bar tape the bars and I sat on the bike just to size it up to see what it felt like so I could get my hoods in the right position, and I'm too stretched out. So we're going to go back to the
60mm stand.
and take this one off. So £14 refunded back to my account, por favor.
Yeah, just like that.
Can you help me out? I've been more certain of truth before.
Frankenbike, but because it's so new, it's not cobbled out of old bikes. Mutant? Say Mutant? The X-Men bikes?
12 and a half. 12 and a half.
11.85.
11.8 instead.
Morning, Foxy.
Good morning.
You alright?
Very well.
Where have you been?
When?
Well, you haven't been on a vlog for a very long time.
Well, no, it's been a while.
Since London?
Since London. Haven't been very far.
No?
Tried to cycle in Storm Dara, which was a bad idea. I got 40 kilometres in out of a 100-kilometre ride. I thought, this is very silly.
Was it a planned ride?
Yeah, it was an Audax. There's 11 of us showed up. Foolishly, when I got to the train station, there was another 7 people there, so they all had the same idea.
Alright. It's all well and good building what the lads in the store are calling a bit of a Frankenstein bike, but what does the Procal on drop bars really ride like? Today I've met up with Foxy to have a couple of sausage sandwiches, some coffee, and we've come to Nitsley Courtyard Cafe in County Durham, riding a few of my favourite lines. So my first impressions, very capable bike, super comfortable. Yes, it is a little bit on the heavy side at just over 11 kilograms, but it's going to be able to go a lot more places than some of my gravel bikes. What's your thoughts, Foxy? Silly idea?
A little bit. Well, you've got to try things, don't you? It's comfortable.
I feel like I could get the bars in a little bit more of an aggressive position, maybe a negative stem, and my gearing isn't great. I do spin out quite quickly. Speaking to one of the mechanics in the shop before coming on this ride, they don't believe I can get a much larger crank on the front because of the way the frame is.
You could have just bought a suspension fork for a gravel bike,
But
it's a bit boring.
I could put this suspension fork on my boom, and then that would annoy a load of people, because then I've got a suspension fork on a cyclocross bike, which is not even a gravel bike. And a lot of people in the comments when I built my cyclocross bike up as a gravel bike were, well, a bit unfavourable, to be quite honest. Next year, me and the Foxy want to... Oh, me and the Foxy. Oh,
and the Foxy.
Me and the Foxy. Next year, me and Foxy... Shut up. Next year, me and Foxy want to explore Scotland. Is this the bike to do it on? I'm not too sure. But, well, yeah, I'm not too sure. Okay. Foxy's been promoted to Chief Planning Organiser for next year's adventures. And, well, I'm allowing him to do the UK ones anyway, because Foxy used to be a shepherd and he knows an awful lot of bothies to stay in, and he wants to light fires and get camping equipment, and, well, I've gave him the reins a little bit. In the midst of us racing around testing this bike out, Foxy is, thinks he's snapped his rear derailleur cable. Right, mate?
I'm alright.
What's happened?
I think we've snapped my cable.
So you've lost all gearing on the back?
All gearing on the back.
So what are you doing now?
Just putting it in the middle.
This Procaliber 9.5 is a medium, and I'm around about 5'8", 5'9". It's probably now my most upright bike. It is super comfortable, and with the massive tyres that are on it, you'd think it could probably go over absolutely anything. At the beginning of this ride, we went through some farmers' fields that were quite boggy, and this bike handled it absolutely perfectly, where Foxy was getting dropped.
I don't think so. Was it?
No.
Nah, it was.
This week, speaking to the guys at Creative Carbon in Australia, who are currently supporting me with all of my wheel sets on all of my bikes, they said that they can build me up a set of lightweight mountain bike wheels for this, which will reduce the weight significantly. Quite a heavy, large, grippy tyre. These are the St. Anne Pros, I believe. Probably would like to get something with a little less traction, but then I might as well be riding my gravel bike. I was about to ask the question, who is this bike for? But it's silly really, because it's for everybody. If you've got a mountain bike, or you feel more comfortable on a mountain bike, or you've rode a mountain bike and haven't ever rode a gravel bike, then to put some drop bars on it and some hoods might just be that introduction that you need. My first introduction to filming and travelling came a long time ago when, believe it or not, I used to be a bodyboarder, and I went to Morocco with some strangers on an organised bodyboarding trip, and that's when I first sort of found my love for vlogging and taking photos. After recently watching a couple of videos of some others cycling in Morocco on some pretty heavy terrain, I thought this bike would be absolutely perfect. Yes, it's just a little bit of fun, and fun is what we've had today, but I really want to see what this bike's capable of. So 30k in, and it's not much of a verdict at this point. Like I said, just a little bit of fun. This bike is super playful, and that's exactly what I love. I love to chuck a bike about, I love the little bunny hops, I love the wheelies. Oh, and I love the adventure. So a couple of K in between our working shifts and Foxy's plumbing schedule.
Yeah.
We've had some sausages, we've had some coffee, and we've tested the new Steed. Like I said, I don't have much of a verdict yet. We need to take this bike out for a full day's adventure, I think. We've got around about 3k till we get home, so I'm going to end this video here. Please remember to comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see everyone on the next one.